Hello, beautiful creative souls. I am so excited that you are here for day 3. I want to say congratulations for stepping up, right? Stepping into your creative flow. In day 1, we were looking at our soul's desire of what's going to fuel the flame for us to get into our creative flow practice, right? So we need to check in with ourselves and be honest with ourselves. What do we really want? What do we want to experience? In day 2, we were looking at abundance and looking at kind of like what's hindering us, what are our blocks around it, but also knowing that there is another way. I want you to know that there is a way of when we nurture that relationship with abundance, when we look at, all the abundance that we have right now, and then ways that we can, get in touch with our money honey. I'm actually wearing my color of my money honey today. It's just this gold dress that I have on. And I was looking for my first money monster, money honey drawing. I actually found it this summer because I did it several years ago. And I put it somewhere safe, and I don't know where that safe place was. So it's somewhere in my studio. When I find it, I will share it with you all. It's actually really funny. But there's a lot of this color in it. And I do put a lot of this color in my paintings. So yeah, getting in touch with that abundance, prosperity, getting in touch with that energy. I love that feeling. I love feeling uplifted, that high vibe, right? I do honor myself when I get into that healing, when I get off center, when I was talking about the chakras and like we feel off when things happen. I do honor that. And that's where I need to be, in that healing energy. But then when I am in that flow state, honoring that, really putting that manifesting energy out there. So I'm just curious for you to check in with yourself. There had to been some sort of abundance, some sort of prosperity that happened to you today. So let's put in the chat like something that you could say, oh, that happened. And I'm going to tell you mine. Mine is my daughter offered to do my makeup for me today. So she was like, I'm so bored. What can I do? And she wanted to do my makeup. And I said, okay. So how abundant is that? I had someone support me on my journey and put on my makeup today. So I love makeup, so that was kind of fun. So just go ahead and put in the chat, like, what is something? It's all around you. If we go outside, there were so many nature images. If you guys didn't realize that, what connections did you see in that artwork, right? There was a lot of nature coming up. And when we look at nature, nature is abundant. I mean, I look outside my studio. We have this huge hedge, and it just reminds me of abundance because it has these beautiful green leaves, and there's so many of them. And it's like nature is naturally abundant, right? So a lot of that came up. We had some money trees, ferns. We had a lot of unfurling of nature. Okay, I'm gonna look at some of your comments. Fruit trees with ripe fruit. Yes, most definitely. I had someone share my latest journal with a bunch of pictures, and then I got it to create a reel from it. Beautiful. I have a lucrative, unexpected dog sitting gig. Perfect. All right, there's so much. And so like when we shift our mindset, like where do we want to focus? You're going to start to see that it's a way of life. Manifesting is a way of life. It's a way to step into that flow, right? It has to be a choice. Where do I want to put my energy? And when we think about, the things that get us stuck, when we were looking at, when we look at past experiences, like maybe we have failed before. Have we all failed before? Yes. Yeah. That's just part of life, right? We experience things and we fail. And so that memory can go into our body, right? And so when we have that opportunity to take a new risk, we get scared, right? That ego says, oh, I want to protect you, right? And so that's part of the healing, is recognizing it, right? Just like that money monster, but that fear, even our ego is there too. And saying, oh yeah, that's my ego. It wants to protect me, right? So it's part of learning to be okay with that fear. And that's really what I teach and I practice, especially in my art therapy sessions, is identifying where you feel it in your body, learning how to be okay with it, and then learning how to take that action, because it's through that action is where the healing happens, right? have to take action to move forward, to move the energy. So it's part of this process of showing up for ourselves. But then as we show up for ourselves, we're going to have that ripple effect, and we're going to show up for other people, which is really, really, really powerful. So for any of you who have not watched day 1, day 2, please watch the replays, because day 3, this is all about taking action today. And these go along with ourselves. So if anyone's watching the recording of this day 3, please go back. I do have these up on YouTube, and I do invite all of you here to please subscribe to my channel, because I do this for free. Like, this is me giving of my overfilling cup of, I want to support you in your desires and your dreams. But also, when I put this on YouTube, is an opportunity to get my message out, but also it can help fund doing this. So if you all subscribe to my channel, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yeah. All right. So I was thinking maybe we could start off with the card pull. You guys up for that? Yeah? Okay, cool. Just because it's fun. All right. So I'm going to just shuffle a little bit. Let's see what the universe wants to show us today. Ooh, okay, this one just flew out. So it's this one. So we will we'll take that one. Okay, here we go. It is a throat chakra, one of my favorite ones, because I needed to do my own healing on my throat chakra, just expressing myself, communicating. This is one of my paintings. This is called The Mirror. It says, everyone in life is a mirror. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to a better understanding of ourselves. Be the energy you wish to attract. Ooh, this is a good one. This is good because when we think about taking action, we think about like what's coming up in our lives. I always feel like it is, if it's triggering us, that means take notice, right? Take notice, because that's where you got to do the deeper work, right? But as you're stepping into your desires, step into them. How are you dressed in that visualization? You know, what would you experiencing? Bring that energy now. It doesn't have to happen in the future. It's about this present moment, right? So everything is a mirror. That's kind of like why I wear this dress today, because I always see myself in like a flowy, comfortable dress, and I like the color a whole bunch. Okay, I'm gonna just look at the chat really quick. Oh, Lisa says she's wearing green for her money, honey. All right, unintentionally, but not really. You're bringing in that energy. Beautiful. Okay, cool. All right, so I wanted to also start off with letting you know the winner, who's winning the free Creative Soul Society membership for a year, which is a really big prize. I think it's $333 for the year. And it is Rebecca Brute or Brit. Are you here? Oh, is that you?
Yes. Hello, Rebecca Brat.
Brat. Okay, I wrote it wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, I'm so excited you're going to join us.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you.
Yay,
Thank
we're
you.
meeting next Sunday. We're going to be doing the sacral chakra art. And we're doing money healing, more deeper work the following Sunday. So I am so excited that you are going to be a part of the community. And I'll hook you up after the class. I'll get you all in there. But it's really amazing. It's a really amazing group of creative souls where we create together, and we have a lot of fun stuff. We have an art show coming up, and yeah, it's just a good vibe. So congratulations. And the reason that I liked yours a whole bunch, because I had the ferns that were unfurling, if you guys remember that one. But you mentioned transform the risk of fear to opportunity. So that when we have things that come up, instead of looking at them like what I was just mentioning of like, because we have these past failures or things that have happened, our body associates like, oh, that must be a failure again. But we have to make the shift, right? We have to say, let me try again. Let me give myself that opportunity to try again and tweak it or pivot, right? So that is beautiful. That's what connected with me. I was like, new opportunity, because We have lots of opportunities available. And I'm actually, at the end of today, I'm going to be giving you guys all a new opportunity that I hope you will join me on. So I'm excited to share that with you at the end. So, you ready to get started? Do some art? Yeah. Yeah, I feel like yes. Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit just before we get started. All you'll need today is like your art journal, and I'm not usually using paints, but like color pencils, markers, or paint. What are these? Gel pens. I love gel pens. That's what you'll need for today. But as far as taking action, because like when you don't take action, you're going to get stuck. So I love Deepak Chopra. Do you guys love Deepak Chopra too? Like, I love his meditations. He's always in such a good vibe. I learned so much. He actually got me into meditating, and I bought his. I would do his 21-day experiences, and so I have the app and I follow it. But one of them on one of his 20-day experiences, he talked about SMART goals, and by manifesting true success comes from creating that flow in one successful day. So to have a successful life, you start with one successful day. And how do you make that day successful? And that's what we're going to talk about today. So I like the acronym, it's SMART. That's the SMART acronym. But S stands for stretch more than you can reach. Okay. So this is about being expansive, right? This is about taking a risk, taking that new opportunity, right? You have to stretch yourself. If you're staying in the same place, you're stagnant. If you feel like you're on this carousel, get off the carousel. Do something different, right? And then M is make everything measurable. Okay, so we're going to be doing that today. We're going to start measuring where we're at. The A stands for agreement. So it's an agreement with your inner self and those around you. So it feels good. It feels good for you. And then it's going to have that ripple effect. Okay. R stands for record your progress, right? Documenting, looking at it. And T stands for time limits. So for acting and getting a result. So just being able to like check in with yourself. So what we're going to be doing is another experience from my book, sharing all these good things, but there's over 50 experiences in here, but I've done a couple with you today, these past few days, where we're going to do another experience from this book, just because I love it. This is called the life wheel, or I also call it the focus wheel. And we're going to be looking at, here it is. Dun, dun, dun. We're going to be looking at different areas of our life, and then we're going to rate it. Okay. And for those of you who have been here with me, probably know that I do this often. Why? Because it's a freaking great tool to check in with yourself. And I do this every few months. So most of the exercises in my book is something that you don't just do one time. Just like I said with everything else, it's a practice, it's consistency. You got to look, because you're not going to know why you need to celebrate yourself, right? We need to celebrate ourselves. Miranda says, love the life wheel. So useful it is. So I'm going to share with you my life wheel that I did in January 2022, which was the black. Oh, no, actually, it wasn't black. I did colors. I first started off with my wheel with all these colors. I know that you can't read the wheel, but that's okay. Well, I'll tell you what they say. And then August 2022, I checked in with my life wheel. So this was, 8 months later? I'm like, have I been working on what I've been working on? That's the black line. So I went back and I was like, well, I made a little bit. Each one I made a little bit, right? And then today I was like, oh, I need to check in with myself, because I'm doing this again. I'm going to do a fresh one. So I went back and I did it with the gold, because I'm wearing the gold. And I was like, holy macanoli, I hit them all except for one. That's okay. There's room for growth, right? So I'm going to do a new focus wheel. And it's cool. I have several of these. I don't have them all together, but I'm going to put in that special place where I'm going to know where my special place is. I'm going to put it in there. But what's cool about this is that I can celebrate and say, oh my gosh, I said I was going to do it, and I did it. Look how I made the progress. And if I haven't focused on something, then that means that I can put it on the next wheel and say, okay, what am I going to do to make it happen? So it's these baby steps every day, right? And so that's part of, like, in my program, is like I assist you in that accountability of the structure of getting to your goal. So some of the things on here, I just tweaked a little bit. So I'm just going to go overview and then we're going to do it together. For example, like relationships, we sometimes we could choose ourselves, or we might want to choose with someone else. I put with my husband that I wanted more date nights, right? And I had rated myself a 5. I was like, I really need more date nights. We have been consistently going on date nights once a week, which is amazing. Business expansion. I've been putting structures in place to expand my business. So I gave myself a whole bunch of points on that. Travel to Europe was one, which I had very low at the beginning because it was just kind of an idea. When something is an idea, you give yourself like a 1. And then I had given myself a 2 because it was kind of an idea, but I'm like searching the web. So I'm getting like a lot of inspiration, but now I have my trip booked. I'm ready. So I gave myself a 10. That's not on there anymore. So I'm going to put something else for travel. Now I want it to be, I want to go on a hubby weekend, like go away with just my husband without the kids. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, that's where you get real specific and then you allow yourself to tweak and step in. Okay. So it goes over every area. So we're going to be doing this together so that you can see how you can take those steps. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of people in the chat. Oh, Lisa says, what page is the life wheel on? Where did I put my book? Give me 1 second. It's in. Here it is. So it's going to be in the crown chakra because we're planning out with ideas. So the crown chakra is all about your thoughts. It's on page 8 and 9. So it's one of the beginning ones that you can check out. Yeah. So I'm going to have, hold on one second. Oh, there's so many comments. Okay, if I need to, so clarify, do you create your life wheel using SMART goals? No, I'm going to walk you through the steps. We're going to do this together. And I'll show you how to do it. Okay, I did a new one for myself. So just so you can see, I just kind of want to show you the big picture so that you can understand where this is going. I did a new one and I got to put the date on here because then I can go in the next few months, come back. So a lot of these goals I've been working on and I'm just getting more refined, right? Or something might be totally new. So the one that I didn't complete, I just had a lot of ideas about it, is my home outside. I want to do a remodel. So I put that back on here because right now I'm just getting estimates. You know, I'm taking the steps, I'm planning it out, right? So this is where I gave myself a 3 here. And so there's different areas that I'm just getting more specific. And it's like, how can I just take those steps to move them out, right? So I'll be able to grow. So what we're going to do is just go ahead and grab your journal. I used both pages because I want it to be big so you can see it. You could do it smaller, but why not? Take up space. You can use both. And then what I did is I like to cheat. You can get a bowl. I used I had this hanging on the wall. So just get something round and trace it, right? For those of you who like nice circles. So just trace it first. Okay. And then we're going to go through each one of these sections together. And what you do is you rate yourself where you're at right now. That's why like you can't rate yourself in the future. You're rating yourself where you're at right now. So the scale is from 1 to 10. So it's starting like, I just have this idea about a hubby weekend travel. That's just an idea. I was like, God, that would be fun. So I'll put that as a 1, right? So as those ideas, as I make those next steps, I'll give myself some more points. And things can start with just the idea. All right, so we drew, everyone got a circle? Give me a yes. We're good? Okay. The other little part is I like to make a circle around the circle because that's where I write to the little components. Okay, so we're just going to do one by one so you don't get overwhelmed or confused or anything like that. Okay, and okay, Tina says, I've done this wheel on so many platforms, I've never really know how to rate things. My numbers just seem to be random. Any advice to really understand the number ratings and how to do it? Yeah, I've done this before with other people and I don't necessarily follow their way. I like this way. because I kind of tweaked it for how I like it. So, for example, we're going to start. The first one I want you to put is relationship. Okay, so all you're going to do is you're going to write relationship right here. Now you get to decide, do you want the relationship to be with yourself? Maybe you need to work on your relationship with yourself. Maybe you need to be a little kinder. Or maybe you want to seek support. Maybe you want to seek some therapy, or you want to work on, your coping skills. Actually, we have a self-care part on here too. But thinking about your relationship with self, or it could be relationship with other people. It could be a friendship. I actually put friends on here because I feel like I need to go to more social gatherings. So I put relationship with others. And then on top of that, I want to go to more art exhibits. I want to go skating, social gatherings. So I gave myself, I'm pretty good at it. I do like to have fun. So I put a 5, but I know that I need to reach out to some friends that I haven't talked to. So, if it was just an idea, have him doing it, it would be a 1. Kind of sort of stepping into it, gathering ideas, that's like a 3. 5 is I'm kind of doing, but I definitely want some more of that in my life. So I give myself a 5. Hope that answers your question. Does that answer your question? Rebecca gave herself an 8. Oh, I thought you were rating yourself, Rebecca. She's like, how many parts in the circle? Oh yeah, I didn't tell you that part. You split your pie up to 8. So basically all I did was, sorry about that, I missed that. I put a line down the middle, a line across the middle, and then I put the top part has 4 and the bottom part has 4. Okay, I missed a step. Look, I'm so excited. I'm like, let's just jump in. All right, are we good? Okay. Give me like a thumbs up, like a yes that you you chose the relationship, what you're gonna work on, you rated yourself. Got yes? Okay, cool. The next one, we are gonna look at business. Okay, so this could be your work, like what you do for work to make money, or it could be maybe you want to create a new business, right? Or maybe you want to make your art into a business. Okay, whatever specific you want to do with your business, that's the intention. Okay, so for me, I'm working on like expanding my business right now. I'm expanding people on my email list, that I'm growing it. So I put out something really, really specific. But what it is for you, maybe it is sell a certain number of paintings, or go to a certain number of festivals, whatever that is. You write that, and you kind of put the number where you feel like you're at right now with that specific goal. Do we rate 1 to 10? Yeah, you rate where you're at with that, whatever your goal is. Maybe you just want to have more fun in your business, or always make it a positive. Okay, you ready for the next one? Yep, yes, okay. The next one on the wheel is health. Again, you can look at your physical body. This could relate to exercise. This could be related to eating patterns. Maybe it's like your sleep schedule, anything. Where do you put the rating? Oh, basically I put my rating right. I do lines kind of going up, and I color it in, and then I put the number right on top so I can be clear of what that is. So this is specific for you. So I've been eating a certain way. I've been cheating the past couple weeks. So I'm gonna like go back to my eating that was working for me. So I'm gonna go back to my what I was doing before. It's a good reminder. There's a question in the chat. Okay, I think I answered it. There's things that can't be done or finished as relationship. There's things that can't be done or finished. What do you mean by that, Fatima? There's things that can't be done or finished as relationship. Because this is what you want to focus on. Whatever you focus on, it's going to expand. That's how the law of attraction works. So if you want to focus on a relationship that's ending, that would not be what you want to focus on. But this is an evolution. That's why I'm saying you do these things more than one time. It's a lifestyle. And okay, it says, you said when you reach it, you remove it from the wheel. Right. Um, you remove it from the wheel so that you can add something else. Like it becomes a habit, right?
Can I speak?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, like, okay, so those things are not fixed on the wheel, and the relationship when we feel that okay, it's a growing and it grow to a level that it's gonna expand more and more. Then we are, خلاص, we are growing in it. So we remove it and then we add another goal that okay, we leave it aside. It's growing by itself. We don't need a wheel for it, right?
It doesn't need to be there because you've already mastered it. You've already, well, like my business is always growing, but there might be a certain aspect of my business that I want to focus on and grow. I've been with my husband for over 20 years. Does it mean that it just because he's not on there that I'm not focusing on it because the relationship part isn't on him, it's on my friends right now? No, it just means that, we've kind of gotten to a schedule of going more on dates, and that it doesn't need to be on there anymore, right? So it's just what you want to focus on for right now. It's being more specific. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, good. I'm glad it does. All right. Next up is our home. Okay, so again, this is looking at what do how do you want to feel in your home? How do you want it to look? How does it want to, maybe you want to add that studio. Maybe you want to declutter, like go through your closets or drawers and get rid of all that stuff that's excess. Maybe you want to remodel in some way. And just rate where you're at. There's no judgment of where you're at, just what it is. How often would you check in on your progress? I do it every few months. Yep. Got to give myself time to grow, right? To put energy there. And the next one is finance. So this is looking at a lot about yesterday, right? What do you want to focus on with your finances? So maybe you just have this idea that, which would be a one of, I think I need to, sit down and have a money date. This is just an idea. That would be a one. But maybe you're doing money dates. Money dates is like a weekly check-in of, what's coming in, what's going out. You're comfortable with that, right? Then that would be, you could put like, maybe you're just starting off of getting to know your finances. That would be like starting, right? But maybe you're in a different level and you're at a different place, right? Of, wow, you're able to project into the future of like, I'm going to save up for this, and this so I can move forward, right? Or maybe you want to sit down with your partner and start working on things. For me, I'm just going to give you an example. When I started with the whole money journey, I had to do it for myself first before I sat with my husband. Because remember, when you're with someone else, they might have their own money stuff going on, right? Their own experiences. So I remember one of the first things I wanted when I had my first coach, which I think I'm gonna invite her into the Creative Soul Society membership because she's the one who made me rip up the dollar bill. Her name's Alexis Fedor. So I remember she's like, you got to do it for yourself. And so I remember I wanted a housekeeper at the time because my kids were little. I was like, I just don't want to clean. I'd rather, if I had any time to go create, I just want someone else to go clean. And my husband would be like, oh, we don't need that. That's such a waste of money. And I had to sit down with the finances for myself. And what Alexis helped me also do was cut out what we didn't need. And I didn't realize that we had money leaks. And I was like, dude, I'm cutting out the cable. And that was when the cable was $100 a month. And I was like, my kids, the only ones watching it are cartoons, and my kids don't need to watch cartoons, right? So that I found the money for a housekeeper. And when I presented it to him, I was like, listen, look at what we're doing. It was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. So when you can do it for yourself, do the healing, do the work, it's so much better when you work with your partner. Okay, so I'm just giving you ideas so that you could see there's no judgment, but you got to you got to address it, wherever you're at. Okay, so the next one is projects. Okay, so this is a real special one because it's like, what is that? Could be your soul's desire. Where do you want to focus your energy, right? This could be the creative flow that we talked about on day one, that you're going to give yourself 20 minutes a day, right, to do some art or show up or write that book or start the podcast or whatever it is that your heart desires. Okay, so go ahead and rate that.
Leah, what was that one again?
That is projects, special projects.
Great.
All right, are we good with that one? Not yet, everyone's still thinking. Okay, it says, how do we separate projects from business? They could be interrelated. Remember, everything is connected, right? You might have something for business and you could be for projects. I mean, I had write my book on here for a long time. I had create my Oracle deck there for a long time, but it is a part of my business. Right now, a lot of my business is marketing, where I focus on a lot of marketing so that people know about my gifts, right? So everything is interconnected. Your self-care is related to your finances. It's related to your health. It's related to your business, because if one of these aren't being addressed, it's going to affect the other. This is why you need to look at your life as a whole, right? Yeah, business and finance go together. That's why it's like, I love referring back to the chakras, because if you're not addressing that energy in that one place, then like if you can't speak up and show up and stand up to talk about your gifts, then no one's going to buy from you, because they're not going to know what amazing things that you're offering, right? And that's why it's important to have structure and plan and like a business model to work on. It like pulls you to stand up. Is it better to have short-term goals than long-term goals? I feel like those might be easier to succeed at. I have both. I mean, I put my European vacation on there for over a year because it's a lot of planning. So that's a long-term goal for me. I feel like this is hard to put a number on it, like a grade. No, there's no judgment. That's where you're putting judgment on yourself. There's no judgment. If you have a 1, that means it's an idea. I had my European vacation there forever for a 1. And it's just saying, okay, universe, how am I going to make this happen? And I just made a choice. I'm like, it's happening. And then I started looking in, like, how will we make it happen? Are we going to go city to city? Are we going to do, trains? Are we doing a cruise? Are we doing, what I mean? Like, so you start it, you do it through action. But there was no judgment because I had a 1 this whole time. No, it's just, you got to start somewhere, right? It's kind of like you plant the seed and you're like, okay, should I dig it up right now to see if it's actually putting roots in? No. You allow it, you water it, you give it some sunshine, you give it some love, and you watch it grow. It's going to take time, right? Okay. How do you decide if it's a 5 or a 3? Still kind of unsure. Okay. You don't have to be so hard on yourself. Just pick a number. 3 would be lower, like you haven't given it that much attention. 5 is like, well, you're almost halfway there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We don't have to, just kind of feel it out. It doesn't have to be too concrete, but it is visually, I think it's amazing to look at. Okay. Next is travel. So if you would like, you can switch this one up if you're not traveling, if you don't want to travel, but I like travel because it fuels my soul. So put something on there for, maybe it's visiting family or like a little getaway for the weekend, driving to your favorite beach or something. Oh, that's a good one. It says, what is your level of satisfaction? Yeah, of getting there. And last but not least, which I think is the most important, but remember, they're all interconnected here, is self-care. Your practice of self-care, whatever that might be, yoga, journaling, meditation, spending time on a daily basis of giving yourself, filling your cup every day. Where are you at with that? What are you committed to? Or maybe this is the creative flow, just creating every day. So put that on there and be specific. Recovering perfectionist. Yeah. So maybe that could be about the relationship with yourself, of learning how to be okay with what is, right? Okay, beautiful. All right. So as you can see, there's a lot here, right? There's a lot of information here, a lot to process where you're at. So I would like to just go through a few of you who would like to share your wheel, kind of where you're at, especially where that creative flow, how does that fit in? Where's that fitting of you're like stepping in, you're taking action, and where do you feel like it fits in? Maybe if it's in the business, maybe if it's in the finance, or maybe if it's in your self-care. Where is that showing up? Who would like to share? If you want to raise your hand, I'd be able to unmute you. Yeah, so Holly asked, if you want a relationship that you don't have, a partner would be put in the relationship category, most definitely. Or does it take us out of alignment to put something we don't have? Okay, so it's okay to desire things, right? And for the relationship area, I always feel like, especially when I'm working with clients, is self-love first. Because when you have that self-love, that's what's going to radiate. Remember the card today was mirror? Mirror. So like if you are exuding that love, right? Because you're feeding yourself so much love that it's going to attract that partner. So it's okay to, what would be the first step? You might not know. You might be at the desire right here, right? But you could ask the universe, how can I, in that self-care practice, how can I attract that partner? And through your writing or through another person, you mean, hey, have you tried that app? Or hey, do you want to go to this party? You might meet someone, or you know what I mean, like opening yourself up to opportunity. That's what we were talking about. Take that risk. Don't be scared to put it on there. Jen says, I feel like creative flow falls in all of them. It does. It will. It will have a ripple effect in all of them. That's awesome. Okay, I think I rate myself a 6 or 7 already. I have been working on self-relationship. You're absolutely right. Thank you. Okay, you're welcome. Is anyone else, are you open to sharing with us today? Everyone's so quiet. Jen says, I'm happy to expand if you want. Oh, all right, Jen. Let's get you up here. I know people are shy. Okay.
Hi. Yeah, so I thought this was so interesting because I was like, oh, I can put creative flow into like all of these things, which is like my most favorite thing to do in the whole world. And I thought, well, I should expand because maybe it seems odd, right? But I think it really does. Like relationship, this time on my wheel, I put more time with my husband because he's been going back into the city instead of working at home. So we have less time together. Then I was like, oh, I've been seeing things online. I was like, oh, well, we can come up with like really creative, fun ways to like have dates. Like it doesn't have to be just going to dinner, right? We can figure out something like fun and silly to do, which I've seen on the internet. obviously like I am an artist, so I'm always creating in my business, but then pulling that creative flow into like the marketing aspect and like making everything more fun. Health, when it comes to like cooking and movement, we can be really creative, like in the kitchen and movement. So I feel like I'm hitting it in like all those ways. I do think, although I haven't totally figured them out yet, there could be really fun, creative ways to like pull in more money and finances if you're willing to like look around. And I'm blanking out on them now, but I have 100% seen people talking about that, like on the internet and all the different things. My projects usually are typically tied to artwork and creating products and things, which also tie into business. And I think creative flow also comes into like, I did put travel, that's much lower on my list, but I do think there's like really fun, cool things you could do with traveling too, and like, or be really creative, like about how you go about doing it. Maybe it's something different. I don't know what that would be yet, but it could be fun to experiment with that and see like what creative fun things we can bring into that travel world. So yeah.
Beautiful. I love all of those. And especially when you're talking about like business ideas and what comes for me is I asked often, especially to the universe of how can I, and the answers will come. So, what is the next step? And please show me the way. And then I get those downloads. So it's there. We might not know it right now, but it's like when you nurture it, it's always there. And I know you know that, but it's
Yeah. Well, no, I have like a lot more ideas pouring in. I write them down. I know some will become real things, some may not. Some may become things like down the line, because obviously I want to focus on things.
right.
But sometimes I will, when you're talking about like that idea, I will see something and I'm kind of like, oh, you know what? I'd like to have some of that. Like, I don't know when, right? Or whatever. And it's not really necessarily my focus, but like the idea is there and it's kind of just in the back of like, oh, that's a really cool idea. That would be really fun to be able to do X, Y, and Z one day, or to be asked to do something.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you, Jen, for sharing.
Welcome. Thank you.
I appreciate it. And we did have Fatima had her hand raised, so we'll do one more. Let's see. Where are you, Fatima? I don't see you. Are you still here?
I'm here.
You're here. Okay, let me keep looking for you.
Yes. I discovered when I did the wheel, I discovered that I put more like higher number for the relationship, because I have been focusing on the relationship with myself and attracting the people who love me and true to me. So makes me feel like more confident about the other goals that I'm gonna work on it. And I discovered like, okay, now I can focus on those things without being so in rush, because I can see in front of me that I'm working on many things at the same time. If one is not taking enough time, it's okay. I can work on it another time.
Yeah.
So I like it so much.
Beautiful, Fatima. And I love that you said it's building your confidence. And I feel like that's why I use this as well, because we could be doing things and we're not aware of how much impact it's having or how many steps that we've taken. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I look at it a few months later and I'm like, oh my gosh, I've manifested that. Like I put energy there and I can give myself credit, and I colored in. I'm like, yay, how amazing. It's like, it fills you up. It really is. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Fatima. So I have some new opportunities for you that I want to share with you. Are you guys open for me sharing that with you? Yes? Yes. Okay, cool. One of them is that we will be meeting next Saturday. I want to do this group one more time, just to check in with you, and I want to celebrate you. So I'm going to be sending an email on Friday. Definitely check it out, where we'll meet in the Zoom, and I want to hear what steps you've taken. Okay. So, and celebrate yourself is so important. Yeah, most definitely. So we want to celebrate you together. So please show up next Saturday and we can kind of see how you've been taking those steps so we can celebrate you. The other opportunities that are coming up are The winner for today, and I'll tell you a little bit more about that, is the Thriving Creative course. So you'll be sharing your focus wheel in the free group, and that is the winner will receive. We're going to be starting in January as the mastermind group. This is where we talk about business. I teach you a framework to make, if you want to make 6 figures in your business, I'm going to show you how I've been able to structure my business. So if you're wanting to like sell books, do a podcast, if you want to sell your artwork, things like along those nature, then that is what we're going to be talking about, which is a lot of fun. I have amazing people in the group who have done it before. And then what else? Other opportunities. Oh, I do have my free consultations that I'm opening up for this week. You are welcome to schedule a call if you just want some guidance. I will show you my, oh, let me share my screen. Okay, so the screen shows you, this is the sticker you're going to see that's going to go in the group. That's where you're going to put today's wheels, and I'll pick somebody. So these are the offers that I have for you. These are opportunities. So the membership group, which Rebecca won a year membership, which is great. We do have a special going on for this month. For if you join us in the membership, you get to gift a friend for a month, which is pretty cool. More the merrier. So please share these. You're welcome to share these free experience with them. But also, if you join, you get to invite your friends or a friend. So again, we have that membership group where we meet twice a month. We have tons of replays for you to watch, artist interviews. We have our upcoming art exhibit, lots of good stuff. The other offer I have is my art therapy sessions. So I was mentioning before, it's never just like a one-time session. This is like a way of life of learning like self-care, learning about like what are your blocks, and then being able to, you know, get through them. So I support creatives to step up and do that healing, especially when we have a lot of fear and things. So for who this is for is usually I work with a lot of people who are experiencing any kind of PTSD symptoms, have a lot of anxiety. They might be in regular verbal like counseling, traditional counseling, and they're bored. And they're like, please give me something else. So this is more about if you want to make like an art series, if you are really wanting to like discover meaning in your art, that's what this is for. So I do 14 session minimum just because that's where we can get those coping skills. That's where we can get you to your next level, right? It's about ascending. So that's more of like a self-development for you. And then lastly is my citrine, which is, this is my signature program. And so these are for the individuals here that are ready to step up in sharing their gifts with the world. So you get the Creative Soul Society membership. You also get the 14 individual sessions. So some of those will be healing sessions that you need to work on some, you know, those unconscious beliefs that you don't realize you have patterns. Like if you're stuck, if you're kind of going, same thing keeps happening, it means that you need to change, and you need someone to help you reflect on what that change is, right? You got to pivot. I'm also, you get the Thriving Creative course, which is our mastermind that we meet up a few times a year. And you create that structure, that framework to make money, which is amazing. And then I love doing that. So you're going to establish multiple money streams and create your own community. So I know that you guys are probably going to have questions about this. So like I said, you're welcome to, these are actually the art therapy sessions in the signature program. This is only by, you can schedule a call for me. This is by, you have to apply. So meaning that I want to make sure that we're a fit. So I'd rather have a conversation with you and kind of see what your needs are and where you're at, and support you in that. So it's available by doing a Creative Soul consultation. So if you want to dive deeper and talk to me about it, then I'll be happy to, you know, you're welcome to schedule a call with me. Okay, so goodness. So that is my opportunity for you. If you would like to dive deeper, want to work together, like I said, you're welcome to schedule a free consultation with me. And I look forward to seeing you next Saturday. Go ahead and post in the group for today under that sticker. And I want you just to be like this next week of just looking at abundance in your life, right? Just looking at like how much that you have, like you have a place to live, that you have water and food, and you have your creativity. Oh my gosh, there's so much abundance right there. And then how you're stepping into it. And those baby steps, remember, one successful day creates a successful life. So looking at those baby steps, journal about it. Like, you know what, today I'm grateful that I showed up for 15 minutes for my art, right? So that we can celebrate you, because we want to celebrate. And that's why community is so important, to celebrate each other, because it's like a vortex, right? You can't do it alone. You really can't do it alone. So or it makes it so much harder. At least that was one of the biggest lessons, especially with one of the coaches that I've had, was I feel like the whole experience that I was with that person was teaching me about community and relationships and how important they are. So they really, really are. That's why I created our membership as well. All right. Oh, thank you, Rebecca, for putting up my scheduler. Beautiful. Engine says, I highly recommend January's thing. It's been so helpful and I can't wait to do it again. Beautiful. Yeah, she's a part of the signature program, and yeah, we're going to be doing it again in January. Beautiful. So thank you all so much for showing up today. And again, if I missed some questions, I apologize. I will be happy to answer them. Like I said, this week I do open this up for phone sessions if you'd like to have a chat with me. You're welcome, Rebecca. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see what you put on your chart. Hopefully it's a lot of fun, right? Like, make it fun, make it and make it so that you want to do it. Oh, I'm so happy you enjoyed this experience. Beautiful. All right, well, I'm going to see you soon. Like, I don't want to like lose touch with you. So like next Saturday, if you'd like to join us so we could celebrate you, so we can see what shifts, right? So when we start to look at it, you'll see a lot more shifts happening. All right, sending you all lots and lots of love, and I'll see you later. Bye.